between workplace harassment and rape, and how the women can protest and react and raise the voices against such kind of activities.
Yes, I heard her question is like, first of all, she's asking about the issue of the colleagues in her entourage or the company organization she's working with. She would be worried to step forward and complain against the harasser, because what they would think that that she got raped, and the line for them as you know, society within one same culture, she would be worried that they will say she got raped, and in a lot of culture, a raped woman, she's outcasted, and probably she will not get married, and probably she will bring shame and guilt to all her family. So this is the issue, and the issue is like, how can we change cultures? Not change, but how can we evolve as one within one culture? This is very important. This is our job as women with strong voices, in order to make difference and let the other women speak about it, and get it as a movement, in order, like, I am here, I got raped, I got harassed, I got abused, and I'm here, I am strong, and I speak about it, and I speak for all the women that they are there, cannot speak about it. Come out of your shadow and speak about it. And that is how a culture will be evolving, because being an ostrich and putting our head in the sand and not doing anything, it's going to hurt our children, our future girls, that they are coming in this world and live like we lived, and without a voice, and they live the abuse and the rape and everything, and the shame and the guilt and so on. It's like, we need to say stop here, and we move forward. Myself, I am an activist, and I speak and I talk about it, and I have a strong voice. I don't get scared on my dead body. So what happened to me, I get so much abused on the social media, and by other people, and some other women. So for me, it's like, you know, something, it's okay, I can take it. No problem. I'm a human. Sometimes I get a little bit, you know, hurt without all this negativity and everything, but I dust it off, and I wake up and I say, I'm not going to take it, and I'm here, and I do it for all the women that are quiet about it, and I would do it for the future generation. I have only one son. I don't have a daughter, but I do it for all my kind, all my, you know, gender, for whoever is coming later on. This is how human rights movement started long time ago, and this is what we need to do, and we continue to do.
Fantastic. There is also a question from the boys' side. Mr. Fahad Ali, he is interested to ask something. Is Fahad available here?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, please ask the question.
I have a question. If somebody use harassment as a tool, a guy or a girl, and blackmails other person, what is your stance over that, and what does law says about it?
Actually,
yeah,
he has a question about both side genders. If
yes.
Someone blackmail male or female, especially this is called regarding the female. So what the law say on it, please?
Yeah, actually, I answered this question earlier, and actually, it's all about the facts and all about the evidences and the existing one. Like each party, she says, I got harassed, and the other party has the right to defend himself. And at the end of the day, in country where there is justice, the truth will come out. So it's about both parties saying something. If she's right, she will get her rights. In a country where the justice system is very, very good, because actually, like I said, I've done some comparative analysis between the laws and the situation happening in different countries, and I find out that some countries, when the woman goes for and claims she got harassed or raped, she wouldn't even get her. They don't hear her at the law and at the police stations, because for them it's like, who are you to come and complain about the guy? Look at you, how are you wearing, or look at you how you are, and it's your fault. So this is very, very important. Also to check the justice, how the justice system works in that country, who's going to be heard, equal rights to access the judiciary system. Is it allowed for women in a way that culturally, and I'm not going to say countries, because I don't want to go like some people, because when I say countries and whatever, and it's not academically written with some data and things like that, I don't want to hurt anyone from different nationality that they think that I'm talking about for now. So it's very important to check all these factors in order to know what is my stance over that. So it's a lot of factors are involved. So it's very important. But there is one thing also that it's very common now. Men's harassment. Women can right now, with the race of women's power and women's rights, men are complaining about harassment.
Okay, fantastic. So what I understand that the case of harassment is totally subjective, depend on the situation, and case to case it varies, right? The last question,
Exactly.
which I must want to ask you, there is a two type of culture. One is a liberal culture and one is a closed culture. So according to your practice, what you see, where there is a liberal culture, where there is a more complaints regarding workplace harassment, or where there is a closed culture, there are the more complaints regarding the workplace harassment?
Well, liberal culture, I don't know. Liberal culture, because each culture, any culture could have, even if it was, based on freedoms and everything, there are some issues within the culture. So I don't say that it's a liberal culture. It's about the society itself. Each society has issues. Like I said, in some very, very developed countries, they have issues related to women's harassment or women's abuse, which is the problem with the drugs and the problem with the lack of employment, or so it has different issues. So I wouldn't say liberal and non-liberal culture.
Yeah,
I would
I mean,
say
where the females are more liberal to wear the clothes, more liberal to go to the parties, hangouts like that, and some are the very close.
okay. Yes, I understand now. Well, yes, I believe that in some countries where the woman is perceived as a second citizen and doesn't have same equal rights as a man, she's she's most likely to be a victim of sexual harassment, whether in employment, in her workplace or outside of the workplace. Because in these kind of countries where women doesn't have freedoms and rights, she doesn't even go to work. Or even if she goes to work, she will be more more prone to sexual harassment. So it is some places also she doesn't even go to work because they are afraid that she gets sexual harassment. And here comes the economic issue.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for such a fantastic talk and very beautiful knowledge you provided to us on the international perspectives regarding the workplace harassment. And we learned many new things regarding the gender and the differences harassment of the genders, male and female, and how we can understand these kind of things. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me. I just want to add something.
Please, please.
All the videos the two videos that they were there, there's no sound. I couldn't hear anything. So and that I am a strong believer on face-to-face talk. So that's why I did not do my video and recording and sending it because of these kind of issues. So there is no voice at all. It wasn't. I couldn't hear anything. I don't know if it's the same problem with the rest or not.
Okay, there are some technological issues. So, but we are very happy to listen you many fruitful talks on the workplace harassment and different theories from the different cultures. So now we move on from you towards Professor Dr. Katrina. You are very warm welcome here. And I think you would like to, I should play the video first.
Yes, I would like to share my video. Would you do it or must I do it?
I will do it.
So, today I want to present some ideas and some facts about workplace harassment and the peculiarities of this situation.
सर्विटर की हुआ है। अच्छा क्या करना
Thank you very much for such a fantastic talk on the workplace harassment from Ukraine perspective. It is very fun
And
and yes, please.
dear colleagues, as I understand that part of you, according to our chat, that part of our colleagues haven't heard the audio. Can I give a very small conclusion on my report, if you don't
Yes.
mind?
Yes,
It
yes.
should be
Colleagues,
wonderful. Yeah.
I was talking about situation with workplace harassment in Ukraine. So, and it isn't a different situation if I compare it with other presentations. We have a never-ended circle of cultural questions because what is harassment? According to Ukrainian legislation, according to our laws, harassment is rape or an attempt of rape. But when we talk about moral, professional harassment, our laws doesn't specify what it is. And in Ukrainian culture, maybe in post-Soviet culture, some jokes, some sexual jokes is very usual thing. So when we talk about harassment in Ukraine, we must understand that women, that men, they don't understand what it is and is it harassment or not. And moreover, if we talk about some verbal harassment or some work harassment, I mean difficult tasks or lower salaries, it is very difficult to communicate with employers because people are afraid to discuss these questions. And it is very difficult to take this case to the court because our courts work with, as I've already said, about such harassments as rape. Our courts work with physical harassments, but other types are not shown, are not presented in Ukrainian courts. Of course, the person, it doesn't matter, man or woman, can consult the lawyer. We have many lawyers who specialize in such cases, but our courts prefer to ignore them and to refuse to take them into consideration. In Ukraine, it is easier if we talk about workplace harassment. I'm not talking about physical cases. It's easier to work with NGOs, with civil society, who helps such women mostly, but men as well, to communicate with the employer, to say about such cases of workplace harassment publicly in Facebook or in the media. But again, if I talk about Ukraine, I must say that we are only in the beginning of the cases to consider workplace harassment. It's only our start point. Thank you for your attention. And if you have questions,
Okay.
I can share my ideas with you.
Yes, of course, there are questions because you have different perspective from Ukraine. First of all, I am very happy to listen that Ukraine is also like Pakistan. So we also, the females also did not understand what is harassment, and Ukraine people also did not understand this. So we are equal here. And move on. Second one, which I understand that you also highlighted that the problem of harassment is both sides, from both genders, male and female as well. But this at this level, we have some different perspective. We have more ratios of workplace harassment regarding females as compared to male. There are some cultural issues, some non-wise behavior of the female, like because the Ukrainians are more liberals female as compared to subcontinental females. They are reluctant to the complaints. So you guys are equal on it. Second one, you also highlighted that there is a problem with the male or female when they do complain, they need to hire the lawyers and they are very expensive. So that's why there are NGOs are available there, which they provide the support, they provide the money to fight the cases. But in generally, the people are not much aware about the workplace harassment, right? My
Yes.
question is, what do you think uh, a country where is this effects are more, and a country where people are not much following the religious practices, you think that the both countries women have different behaviors against workplace harassment?
Yes, to be honest, I think that some cultural differences influence situation at workplace harassment. First of all, I think not every, but partly Ukrainian women are very open, very friendly, and sometimes the level of their friendliness is so high that it gives to the employers and other men opportunity to regard it as the reason to do something with this woman for a pity in some places. A second part is that, well, when we talk about average Ukrainian organization, institution, I must admit that women are considered to be, how to say, to be lower than men in their professional qualities. For a pity, if we talk about such specialties as engineering, as chemical production, as maybe business, international business, again, we still have this problem. You can compare, for example, when we talk about education, about 80% of positions in this sphere are occupied by women. Only 20 are occupied by men, but they are managers. If we talk about business, of course, we have many local small businesses, regional businesses owned by women, but mostly this is men's world. And these two tendencies, first, in some cases, women's very open behavior, that men are considered to be better professionals, and moreover, there is one more tradition. Because of maternity leave, since the Soviet Union period, women are considered worse workers than men, because they need to be with their families, with their children. And this position also influences when we talk about women's harassment. But all it depends on what qualification and professional skills have the woman. So I can say that all Ukrainian women have higher education. Of course, it's not, but maybe half of Ukrainian women have it, and they are professionals. And if we talk about great professionals in big cities, it's much more difficult to talk about workplace harassment. But of course, when we talk about regions and local cities where there is no many work opportunities, women can have problems with it. More interesting fact, in bigger cities, men have problems with workplace harassment, because so there are so many workers, and women who work in Kiev, in Dnieper, in Lviv, big Ukrainian cities. Women are more active. And they make Ukrainian men how to be. They make great demand of, and in big city situation is another.
Okay, fantastic.
I have a suggestion. I have a suggestion, okay?
Yes, please.
So I suggest to organize female protection organization in this case, an organization who will not female but male, who protect male because male are more harassed in big cities.
It's very surprising tendency, but as it is, and what I want to share some more ideas. The situation is worse when we talk about periphery and about local cities, local towns, and regions. The thing is that the urban population, they have more knowledge about the laws, about the legislation. And then we talk about periphery, they are not aware of their rights and their freedoms, really. And this unprofessionalism makes easier for the employer to play with his or her workers. And of course, if you don't know if you don't know laws and you don't know how to protect them, of course, you can do more work, and the person can even get less salary.
Okay, fantastic. From the audience,
I don't
anyone
even
have a question,
why.
please? From the audience, anyone
I
have a
have
question?
No.
Yes, please.
Yeah. You know, I have heard that in Europe, even I saw it, that while signing working contracts, just employer demand that during this contract 2 or 1 year, you are not allowed to marry or etc. There are such kind of contract, yes. And also when you go to interview and they ask, are you married, do you have children? It is a kind of discriminating things because they don't want to hire women who have children, for example, in case of your children get sick and you will miss your work and you don't come here. Such kind of discrimination also occur, yes? Is it the same in Ukraine or?
Yes, it is the same, but officially in the contract it isn't written. But many years ago, 10 years ago, when I got my first job at the university, the chief of my department asked me if I would plan to have children in the nearest 5 years, because it was connected with education process, and if I would say yes, I wouldn't have the position of the lecturer at the university. And of course I answered no, but it wasn't official document, it was a kind of friendly conversation. And but I had to say what he wanted to hear from me.
Yes,
Okay.
This is also
Fine.
discriminating because
Any
they have
other
also to
one?
pay, you know, for maternity money.
Yes, please.
A baby in the chat, but as I can see, yes, I'm reading about Bangladesh. We have not only international NGOs who provide our workers, both women and men, with legal help. And we have Ukrainian NGOs who work with grant programs and who even can give money, give funding to hire a lawyer. But of course, in very difficult situation. In ordinary situation for a PT, worker and employer must work with difficult situations themselves. For a PT, even our legislation is not ideal to solve these issues. Again, we don't know what does it mean harassment, and this is very difficult what it can be. If I ask the person, ordinary woman or man can't answer it. The teacher at school, the lecturer at the university can't do it. But of course, we are talking about another level of intelligence if we talk about teachers and lecturers. Ordinary workers don't know. I mean, sellers, shop assistants, nurses, or cleaners, they are not aware about this. We are
Yes,
short of time. Yes, we must go. We must leave this conference now. Yes.
Yeah, we will come back.
Okay, in a
okay.
minute.
Okay, we are the last minute and we will join again from the here. Anyone have a question from the Ukraine perspective, please rejoin soon and we will be here at the same. You are welcome back.